Hey Scott, can you hear me okay?
Mike, we can hear you. Now we're unmuted. Can you hear me?
Great. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. We're unmuted now.
Thank you.
Big fan of the show. We have a lot less paper than we used to.
Don't you go around them all day?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, my stocks of all the papers I'm reading. They're all. Required.
Yeah, because you're trying to.
Not go around. What's that? Okay. Remute.
Also have. Probably temporary. But motion will have to have a second for them to happen. It's a motion, whoever makes a motion. If someone usually seconded.
We're called to order the East Fallowfield Township Board of Supervisors reorganizational meeting, January 5th, 2026, with a silent meditation and a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There was an executive session held on January 5th, 2026 to discuss legal matters. And just as a point of clarification, our microphones are not working tonight. And then next on the agenda is the swearing in of Katja Dorado. It works. Put your left hand on my hand and raise your right hand. Right? Now you may repeat after me. I state your name.
Katya Dorado,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
I will support,
obey,
obey,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
And I will discharge my duties as supervisor of East Fallowfield Township
Discharge my duties as supervisor of East Fallowfield Township
in Chester County, Pennsylvania,
in Chester County, Pennsylvania,
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just need you to sign this out.
Okay. All righty, you have a pen? Okay.
Keep that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then next is the swearing in of Deborah Stahl.
Do you, want to? You can just raise your right hand. Okay, please repeat after me. I state your name,
Deborah Stahl,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey,
obey,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge my duties
charge my duties
as supervisor of East Fallowfield Township
as supervisor of East Fallowfield Township
in Chester County, Pennsylvania,
in Chester County, Pennsylvania,
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. Sign this. You're welcome.
I make a motion to appoint myself as temporary chairperson to start the January 5th, 2026 reorganizational meeting. I propose to make a motion to appoint Wilson Lambert as the 2026 Board of Supervisors chairperson.
There was no second.
We have a second.
There was no second.
Second.
I make a motion to appoint.
Wait, we didn't vote on it.
How did I know this?
Call for the vote.
Aye.
I make a motion to appoint.
Did it?
Did you vote?
No,
No. I'm not hearing you.
no.
Would you say? Aye, thank you. I make a motion to appoint Wilson Lambert as the 2026 Board of Supervisors chairperson.
Second.
Call for the vote?
No,
Nay.
Aye.
Aye.
that's 3 days. I make a motion to appoint Michael Zabowski as the chairman of the Board of Supervisors for 2026.
Second. Call for the vote?
Aye,
Aye.
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 motion passed.
I make a motion.
Mike is now chair. He can take over.
Anybody can make a motion.
Well, he's chair now.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Wilson Lambert as 2026 Board of Supervisor Vice Chairperson.
Second.
Call for the vote?
No,
Nay.
Aye.
Aye.
motion fails.
I make a motion to appoint Al Wright as the 2026 Board of Supervisors Vice Chairperson.
Second.
We have a second.
Call for the vote. Aye.
Aye,
Nay.
No.
Motion passes. Do I have a motion? Make a motion to appoint the firm of Sienna Law for the 2026 year at a rate of $235 per hour for general municipal legal services.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
aye,
Aye.
Company. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Scott Swisher as the 2026 Township Manager.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there already a new contract that we can write to notify? No contract.
Not currently, but you can write to the requested office. We're looking for them. Any other questions from the public?
Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
I move that the township appoint Dave Hyman to serve as full-time 2026 township treasurer.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Do I have a motion?
I move the township appoint Lisa Ionata to serve as needed assistant treasurer at the hourly rate of $50.
Second. Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Do I have a motion? I make a motion to appoint Scott Switcher as the 2026 Township Secretary and Township Right to Know Officer.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? I can hear it. Any questions or comments from the public?
Is that his title now? Like last
yeah.
year,
He was Right to Know Officer in 2025, yes.
and township secretary?
Yes, right.
Yes.
Just wondering.
Any other questions or comments? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to appoint Denise Rosa as the 2026 program coordinator.
Second, sorry.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Sue Saradich as the 2026 part-time office assistant.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 I make a motion to approve the December 9, 2025 Board of Supervisors meeting minutes.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the board supervisors meeting at 6:30 PM and the second and fourth Tuesday of the month. The Park and Recreation Commission meetings at 6:30 PM and the first and third Tuesday of the month. The Planning Commission meetings at 6:30 PM and the first and third Monday of the month. The Historical Commission meetings at 6:30 PM and the first and third Wednesday of the month. The Environmental Advisory Committee at 6:30 PM and the third Thursday of every month, and the Municipal Building Committee on the fourth Monday of every month at 6:30 PM.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
There's no change from last year, correct, Scott?
Correct, no change.
Awesome.
Any questions or comments from the public? James, the first.
I had asked you last year if there's any way we could change the day we do this meeting, because it's the same day as the school board meeting and it's the same day as the city of Coatesville meeting. I guess, I don't know if that was taken into consideration, but it would be nice for residents who are part of all of those, different factions to be able to go to the different meetings and not have to choose.
I don't think we're going to change it at this point, no.
But that's why I asked last year, but that's okay. All right.
John?
Yeah, the EAC is meeting second Wednesday now. I thought I sent you an email about changing that because we've been meeting that way, like the last meetings in
We did John, we did a change for you in 25. Is that still the same?
Second Wednesday.
Yeah, it should be second.
We'll just
Do
make it a
we
change.
have a typo
Second
there,
Wednesday.
Scott?
Second Wednesday? Glad you pointed that. Okay. We can,
Thanks for catching that.
You'll make the modification or do they need to revise the motion?
I think if you revise that motion to reflect the second Wednesday for the AC.
So I make a motion to revise the current motion to show the EAC as at 6:30 PM on the second Wednesday.
Second.
Questions or comments from the board? Questions or comments from the public?
Mike,
Oh, sorry.
can we add this somewhere and put it on the parking lot or something so that we can consider it, to change that date? Because to Shane's credit, I sit on another board and I can't make a lot of them. Not that it's about me, but I know a lot of other people do too. So if we could put it somewhere where we would remember to consider it, like for next year, or I don't know how that works, what the process is, or doesn't it really change?
2 points. First is, it typically doesn't change. We've always had it, the board meetings on the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month. We can amend it at any time. We just have to repay for the advertisement. Correct, Scott?
Yes, yes.
So it can be considered. I just don't think it's going to change current. But we can make a note to revise it at any time.
So what would we need to do to put in the suggestion to change it? I mean, half the times the meetings are canceled anyway.
Correct. We typically do not meet the first available meeting of the month. We usually meet on the fourth week of the month. Just to get all the bills and just meet once a month. But you can email Scott at the township it's manager at eastfallfield.org.
Yes.
Or you can email the board, which is board@eastfallfield.org with your request.
And have we already paid for the advertisement?
We did pay for this advertisement?
No,
For the meeting?
We
not
haven't
until the
paid for
board
this.
approves it.
Correct. So we haven't paid for the advertisement.
So we could change it, but I don't know, how soon does it have to be done? I mean, I'm sure there's some law.
What's the limitation? How far in advance do we need to advertise, or we just need to advertise?
Three days before it's 3 days before the first meeting for the annual meeting notices.
Okay, so on the revision motion. Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
And then the call for the vote on the original motion with the amendment. Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Next motion, I make a motion to ratify termination of employment for part-time laborer Hector Aquino effective January 5th, 2026.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to appoint the following public works employees as presented. Road foreman, Justin Gathercall, $33.90 an hour. Labor, Bill Lewis, $30.78 an hour. Labor, Nicholas Junta, $30.78 an hour. Labor, John Winters, $30.78 an hour. And part-time labor, Jordan Thomas at $25.22 per hour.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Do I have a motion? I make a motion to approve a pay increase from $20 per hour for non-CDL and $21 an hour for CDL snowplow operators to $25 an hour for both CDL and non-CDL snowplow operators.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah. There was 25 with the next logical incremental increase, Scott, so you retract the snowblowers.
We need to be competitive. We're competing against, private companies that are hiring these people. So we need to make sure that when we have a snowstorm, we can, attract people.
If memory serves me, I guess maybe 2-3 years ago, we had increased from 21 for the very same reason.
Yep.
And we were to hold steady for a couple of years.
It's been a few years since we've increased.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
So
Yes.
So there's no delineation for if you have a CDL versus like we did following the logic last time, it's just 25 flat for both. There's no preferential pay increase for the CDL,
Yep, 25 for both.
so it's 25 for both.
Yes, yes, 25 for both. Any other questions from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion accepting the resignation of fire marshal assistant.
No,
Am I off?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
there's a second motion underneath the pay increase.
Oh. Hold on. Or Can I say anything? Come on, Pat, you're good.
Aye.
You go ahead now.
Okay, I guess I broke it, I bought it. I make a motion to appoint the following Anthony snowplow operators as predicted. Operator Joe Gathercall, Frank Dallin, Chris Coral, Bruce Phillips, Andre Reason, and Barry Oxter.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
They did a great job last time.
They did.
Thank you. It is appreciated. Any other comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion accepting the resignation of Fire Marshal Assistant Emergency Management Coordinator Jim Reagan.
Second. Any que- Don't believe so. Any questions or comments from the board?
Thank you for your service.
Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion accepting the resignation of Emergency Management Coordinator Assistant Fire Marshal Anthony Cerna.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
I know we're not going to debate it now, but these positions will have to be filled in due course. Scott,
Yes, yes.
Thanks for his service also.
absolutely, yes.
Any questions or comments from the public? Yes.
Why are both of them resigning? Are we allowed to know? And should we worry that both of them are resigning at the exact same time?
I don't know the exact reasons why they're resigning. I've been told that they've resigned on amicable terms, and I think they've both served for decades, so I
Yeah,
believe they're.
decades, like 30 decades, like, yeah.
Age related.
No, I think they've just earned retirement. It's not,
You're right, to let somebody take over.
That's fine.
Yes.
Just curious. They were both going at the same time, so.
yes, I think it's just a coincidence, but I don't think there's anything malicious in their applications.
It's a good question. I asked the same thing.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote. Aye. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a mo-
I make a motion to appoint the following police officers as presented. Police Chief Chaz Osborne, salary $134,928 a year. Sergeant full-time Brian Simmons, $54.04 an hour. Police Officer Kevin Simmons, $50.38 an hour. Officer Richard McAllister, $50.38 an hour. Officer John Huschek, $50.38 an hour. Officer Francis O'Donnell, $50.38 an hour. Officer John Rapold, $50.38 an hour. Part-time Officer Sean Marasco, $30.20 an hour. Part-time Officer Andrew Schreiber, $30.20 an hour. Part-time Officer Robert Basquill, $29.33 an hour. Part-time Officer Corey Denton, $29.33 an hour. Part-time Officer James, I'm gonna say Grajewski, but I'm pretty sure I mispronounced it, $29.33 an hour. Part-time Officer Brianna Rivera, $29.33 an hour. Part-time Officer Desiree Rhodes, $29.33 an hour.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Nancy Baker as the 2026 part-time police administrative assistant and the police right to know officer.
Second. Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Yes,
I just have one, why is the part-time position and then you have to have an assistant? Can't it be a full-time position and just have one person?
During a transition period.
is that the answer?
Yeah, there's not enough hours for, or need for a full-time, so our previous administrative assistant is in an employment situation where she can't cover all the time that she used to. So we brought Nancy back, who had retired, to fill in the days that she can't cover.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Christilla Walls as the 2026 Assistant Part-Time Police Administrative Assistant and Assistant Police Right to Know Officer.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
Okay. Is this like a temporary thing, transition, or is this moving forward? This is how it's gonna be for the next year or so, or? Just curious.
Ms. Walls is actively pursuing full-time employment. So if at any juncture she accomplishes that goal, Nancy Baker will fill in as full-time, part-time
Until you get
administrative
someone.
assistant until we transition to hiring another one.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Keystone Municipal Services, Inc. as the 2026 Township Building Inspection Code Official and Zoning Services.
Second. Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
Is that changing or is that the same?
That's the same company we've had for how long now, Scott?
Long before I got here.
And we still have Rob?
We do.
They knew the township like the bagger and
Any other questions or comment from the public?
Is it still Tuesday and Thursday for inspections?
Yes.
It is Monday through Friday. We have a second person that does 9 to 11, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He just doesn't do final inspections the way Rob does. Rob's here Tuesday, Thursday.
Is that on the website or anywhere?
Yeah, yeah, I have a full schedule if you want it.
I hadn't used it, so I didn't know. I apologize. Any other questions or comments? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint the following 2026 board meeting on as presented. And then the five of us decide what we're going to do.
Yeah, let's run through that first before we read it. I apologize.
I'm happy to continue with township office.
I'd like to take the office actually.
Okay.
I will stay as Police Department and EAC.
I'll take planning.
Historical Commission.
I'll take Park and Rec.
What we have left, sorry.
Emergency service, I
I'll
guess
take Public Works. Does anyone want EMS and Park and Rec?
I'll take EMS, if that makes sense.
Okay, then I'll read this one. All right, I'll revise it. Sorry. I make a motion to appoint the following 2026 board liaisons as presented. Township Office, Mike Domboski. Police Department, Katja Dorado. Public Works Department, Mike Domboski. Emergency Services and Fire Marshal Al Wright. Planning Commission, Deborah Stoff. Historical Commission, Wilson Lambert. Park and Recreation, Mike Domboski. Environmental Advisory Committee, Katja Dorado.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? No questions or comments from the public?
I have one.
Yes.
Kat, can you explain excited delirium?
Say that again.
Can you explain to me excited delirium?
Is that, what does that have to do with this?
It was the police department thing that we talked about a couple months ago that you voted on and you had no idea what it was. You
It was
came
a-
to the meeting unprepared for the vote and you had to ask Officer Osborne, Captain Osborne, a lot of questions. And I'm just curious as to why you picked police department liaison when you came completely unprepared to vote.
That was a new policy, and I have worked in psych for a long time, and that was a new term that I was not aware of with the police that was being used. That's why I was asking him
Okay,
to
well,
make sure that I'm voting correctly, so.
and you voted and you still had questions, so
I have the right to
a
have
long-
questions. If I didn't have questions, you shouldn't be on the board if you don't. have
You should come
questions.
prepared
It-
to vote.
Saw it
And you
on
had a
there.
lot of different questions, so I just have a concern why you would pick police department liaison when
I have a
you
good
clearly didn't
relationship with
understand
police, and I've
that.
worked with police in the past in mental health, so I'm not sure what your concern is.
my concern is that you voted and didn't understand things, and now you're choosing to do that.
I was
That's
asking
okay.
questions because that's in court, that was something I wasn't, had not heard of before, so I worked with real delirium for many years.
All right.
So.
On that,
that's why I was asking
real
questions.
quick, Chief, have you have any issues with working with Cap?
Absolutely not.
He's comfortable with it.
Good.
Thank you for your
Thanks.
question.
Thanks.
Any other questions or comments?
Cliff Notes version, what is the responsibility of each of these liaisons? What do they do with the group they've chosen?
The liaisons are available to act as a conduit for communication between the board and those committees and/or departments. Essentially, we don't, I think we talked about it last year. They don't necessarily require it, but we provide them. I usually check in with the chief and the fire marshals or the fire personnel when they're here at the meetings. And I would sporadically have conversations last year when I was the liaison for the planning commission. So.
Do they attend our meetings or is it just a communication?
It's just a communication. You don't have to attend the meetings. You don't have to. It's just something that it's an available, a more single source of communication instead of putting everything on me and or having them try to respond to 5 people.
Okay.
That's all.
Just to, not, what Mike said, I mean, my understanding is it is kind of a very informal liaison process. Doesn't replace any of the other means of communication.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion? Actually, before we do that, it's the State Supervisors Association Convention voting delegate.
There's somebody who wants to do it.
Have you done that in the past, Wilson?
Yeah, I've done it fast.
Would you like to continue?
Turn it over to other board members. It's a good learning opportunity.
Okay. Al, is that something you would like to take on? Because I think you go to those conventions.
If nobody else wants to do it, I'll be happy.
I wouldn't be able to.
I'll do the alternate if you can't go.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Then I make a motion to appoint Al Wright as the 2026 State Supervisors Association Convention voting delegate and Katja Dorado as alternate voting delegate.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The next is the WC cog. I don't know.
If I can, informational, I know we've been part of the COG. I think everybody agrees it's a good thing to continue. It's a couple $100 a year and we get good coordination with at least 13 other municipalities from here up to Honeybrook and Parksburg and whatnot. I've done this in the past. If anyone else wants to be part of this,
I'll be
That'd be fine,
alternate.
You can continue, it's fine.
I'll do
Okay.
alternate.
I'd be happy to serve. Yeah.
All right. I make a motion to appoint Al Wright as the primary delegate and Katja Dorado as secondary delegate of the Western Chester County COG, Council of Government.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Jerry
I
has.
was just gonna ask, does it have to be somebody on the board?
It's usually a group of there's supervisors from every single.
No, I know what it is.
He's fine.
I've been to some of the meetings.
Anybody.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering, does the delegates, I was just curious, does it have to be a board? board
I
of-
don't know the bylaws off the top of my head, Jerry, but I think the official members of the COG are elected officials, but it's open to
To everyone.
residents, people on committees.
Yeah, no, I know that. I was just wondering if the delegates had to be, okay, just curious.
Terry, did you have a question or comment?
Big vote.
No, that was the same question.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know Jerry and John.
They have votes. So they want the officials to be
Yeah.
there.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion to appoint John Nielsen as the East Fallowfield Township 2026 vacancy board member.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Bonnie was first.
Just wanted to, I couldn't hear, she trailed off,
I'm sorry.
so I just don't know what we just,
The vacancy board member? If one of the supervisors were to leave, like we had last year, and we had a 4-person panel and there was a tie, the vacancy board person acts as the tiebreakers.
okay.
Jane?
Considering that, you know, went into effect because he quit his post as supervisor, is it really not ironic for him to be the vacancy board member? I mean, we could,
Not relevant. Not
Well,
relevant.
hold on.
I mean, I think it's relevant because he didn't fulfill his duties that, you know.
He resigned for his own reasons, and he's allowed, that doesn't void him from being this now. It's for each individual supervisor to consider, and it's a valid point.
Okay, and these were, I mean, he was the only person up for consideration, or that's that you made this decision before today's meeting?
So
No, this hasn't been voted on. This is when it's just brought from the.
so, Mr. Chair, do we want to, is Mr. Crotty's on the phone to confirm that?
Yep.
The
Yep, I'm
former
here.
supervisor can fill the position? I'm sorry.
Yes,
Mike,
he
say
could.
that?
Yep.
All right, so.
Yes, he could.
Solicitor says it's okay.
It wasn't a legal question if he could.
No, I understand
right?
your question.
Right,
It's
okay.
valid.
I'm just curious how you, how you make a suggestion, or, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but thank you, a recommendation of who, like, I know Kat chose John. Is that something because of your personal relationship with John, like, because he's on the board, or is that like, did John come to you and say he'd do it? Like, how does that go about? Because I'm sure there's other people in the township.
Anyone can make a motion for anyone based on their knowledge and experience. John has
Okay.
lots of knowledge and experience, so.
Gotcha. I just wasn't sure how they come about, like
It's
how
a
that
very
recommendation
rare occurrence that it would happen
Yeah.
too, that you would have to.
Require
someone.
one.
Yes.
Okay. No, I just wasn't sure how you pick.
Well, anyone here can choose. make that
Anyone,
motion,
okay.
yes.
Fair question.
You know?
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
Deb?
No.
Motion fails.
I make a motion to appoint Ray Smith as the East Fallowfield Township 2026 vacancy board member. Sorry.
Ray is the current, chair for the planning commission.
Second.
No.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? So Tara, to your point, it's not who was discussed before.
Courtney.
I apologize.
Give it been here.
There's a lot of faces.
You look 5 years younger.
I apologize. I'm not the best with names.
I like that you tried
I know, I appreciate it.
I try.
This is Terry. This is Terry. Oh, Terry.
Tara. All right. Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Abstain.
Motion
Motion
failed.
passes.
I make a motion to appoint the law offices of John Carnes Jr. as the 2026 Township Zoning Solicitor at the rate of $150 per hour and approve their 2026 fee schedule, which is the same as 2025. For your motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Mr. Carnes has been doing a good job for us for decades. Glad to see us continue.
Any questions or comments from the public? Up to the vote.
Aye.
Abstain.
Yeah, so it's a difference.
So, Jerry, one sec. So here's your question. The zoning hearing board is a quasi-legal entity. They have their own solicitor because they are completely separate from the board of supervisors. That's why they have their own solicitor and they don't use standalone.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the challenge when people come to the zoning hearing board. They literally have a court recorder that takes the stenography and they enter everything as into evidence, as exhibits, and they have their own lawyer because they're separate. Whereas like planning commission, EAC, historical, municipal building are all advisories. They don't need their own solicitor because they are only advisory to the board. The zoning hearing board is completely separate.
We were just trying to figure out which
Well, if you
which
guys,
karate word for.
Karate works for Sienna, so he is the solicitor for the board and the township at large. John Carnes is the solicitor and has been the solicitor for the zoning hearing board for years.
Okay.
So the reason is the township can be a legal entity against the zoning hearing board in certain instances. So we would have our solicitor, they have their solicitor. Just as a
That's correct. Yep.
FYI. Did I misspeak, Mike?
Yeah, I just said you're correct, Mike.
Oh, I got one right.
No, you've been getting a lot right. You're getting a lot right.
All right, next one. I make a motion to appoint Herbert E. McCombie Jr. PE as the 2026 Township Sewer Consultant and approve the 2026 fee schedule as presented.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
They've also been our sewer engineer for quite a while. Doing a good job. Just ask our planning commission. All right, thank you.
Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Do I have a motion?
I make a
Mr. Chair, I
motion
just wanted to note, I'm sorry, Kat, I've got to jump off at this time. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any further questions the board had of me right now.
No, I think we'll be all right. We have your email and your phone number, so we'll be in touch.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
for your time, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Mike.
Have a great new year.
Thank
Bye.
you.
I make a motion to appoint the traffic planning and design as the 2026 Township Traffic Consultants and approve their 2026 fee schedule as presented.
Second. Any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, I know we had maybe one or two hiccups with TPD in the last year or so, Scott, but overall, they're still performing.
Still doing Sawmill Road for
Because
us.
they've taken care of Sawmill.
They're working through Sawmill Road right now.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to appoint Fidelity as the 2026 Township Engineer and approve their 2026 fee schedule as presented.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
You've had them, what, 3 years now, Scott? 4 years?
It's been about 3.
Track.
Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-01, appointing Clifton Larson Allen as the East Fallsfield Township auditors, replacing the elected auditors to audit the accounts of the township for the fiscal year 2025.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
We do this every year, Scott. Basically, each year we appoint a CPA.
Every single year,
We've been doing this for how long?
forever.
Forever.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
Just have a comment. If somebody's been doing it for forever, isn't it time maybe to consider somebody different with fresh eyes?
No, we've had different auditors over the years. We've always replaced them with a professional. We've always replaced the elected auditors with a professional CPA firm. We've used different firms over the years.
Clifton Larson was our CPA last year for this.
Correct, yes.
I guess this is where it would have been nice to have Mike on call, but is replacing the right word?
Yeah,
It is.
I called in question,
It is,
asked
okay.
directly, and Mike says it is a replace.
Okay.
I think the follow-up to that is, talking with Scott, is the elected auditors will be given a copy of the auditor's report when it's done, as well as financials to review.
No, we provide the audit, we provide a copy of the annual audit to the elected auditors. It's more of an FYI probational.
Yeah, I did specifically ask Mike, and he said, yes, that is correct.
And do the elected auditors have access to financial data before the auditors do the audit?
My understanding is no.
No different than any other resident. Any resident can request public documents. We would treat the elected auditors the same way.
It's a surprise, so I can look into it a little bit. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you can, like, as with other items, you can email the board, I do have our emails, or you can email Scott, and you can forward any of the questions you have to me. But I did check on that.
I appreciate it.
To be reasonable, I had to ask the exact same questions.
Any other questions or comments? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion? I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-02, approving the township fee schedule.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Any changes, Scott, to the fees?
No changes.
No change.
Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Do I have a motion? No, we'll have to debate it first. Sorry.
Man, brother.
It's a lot. We need to know the board supervisor member for the ag committee.
I make a motion to appoint Wilson Lambert, Board of Supervisor member, as 2026 chairperson of the Agricultural Security Commission.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
That's a once a year meeting, right?
Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Before we make that motion, can we ask the
Joe?
health chair?
I also asked Solicitor Crotty, who said there's no restrictions to Joe being on a committee as long as it's not political and he doesn't get paid.
All right, so he has a new job as the
The
MTJ,
judge.
so, yeah, guys, he's a judge now.
But there's no restrictions.
Excellent. Well, let me make the motion. I make a motion to appoint Joe Heffern, resident, to the Agricultural Security Commission to the 2-year term ending December 31, 2027. Second.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Thanks for serving, Joe.
Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 I make a motion to adopt resolution 2026-03, reappointing Kathleen Moffett as a zoning hearing board member for the term ending December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? She is not.
No.
She's been on there a while, so I'm glad she's still continuing on.
Yes, she has been on here previously.
That's a 3-member board, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Her, Ellis, and Jason. Yep. Any questions or comments from the public?
Sort of similar, how are these people selected or interviewed? Because it's a completely separate entity from the township, but you guys determine who's on that board.
Kathleen's been on it previously, so there was no reason not to continue her. Aside from that, anyone can request to be on it, I guess, Scott.
Yeah, same application process as all the other commissions and boards.
So,
Yeah, that's how I got on in 2012.
It just seems conflict of interest to you that they're like a separate entity, but you pick who, right, the board decides who gets to be on this.
All covered by the MPC.
I'm not a legal expert. I can get back to you with that with Mike,
I mean, it's legal, obviously, it just seems.
but to further it any more clearly, it's my point, I'm sorry.
Governed by the MPC.
I understand that, like, everything comes from the state. This is how it's run in all the townships. The zoning hearing board has to be township resident. It's not like it's just anybody. But yeah, there was no one else. So Kathleen was, or Kat was the person that continued. Yep. Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion authorizing the township manager to advertise for at least one, but not more than 3 alternate members of the zoning hearing board and return the applications to the board of supervisors for consideration. Answer that question. Okay. You have a second? Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Have we had alternates for the zoning before?
We have not, so the NPC allows the alternate position, and having it just ensures that we have a quorum if somebody's sick. And if we do appoint someone, we'd have to do it by resolution as well, but right now we would just be advertising it the same way we advertise other positions.
Same application as
Yes,
the commissions?
yes.
And unfortunately, well, tell me if this is correct. If you wanted to be on the zoning hearing board, could you still be like on the volunteer committees? You can't be on the plan?
No.
You
I
can't
do
do it
think-
Be on the board of supervisors.
No, actually, I do think you can only be on the zoning hearing board.
I know for the zoning specific, I just want to make it clear to the public, who can. So if you're on the zoning hearing board, what can't you do in the township?
You cannot be on the board of supervisors. I'd have to check if you can be on another.
Forget about the
committee or not.
volunteer committees,
I'd have to double check on that one.
like especially the planning commission seems like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It would have to be looked at whoever puts their name.
Right.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Where? Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Ray Smith to the planning commission for the term ending December 31st, 2029.
Second. Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 I make a motion to reappoint Guido, goodness. Giantini to the planning commission for the term ending December 31st, 2029.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
No, either happen.
Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 I make a motion to reappoint Sue Monahan to the planning commission for the term ending December 31, 2029.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Just as a point, we do allow one alternate for the planning commission, which is currently vacant, if anyone's interested. Do I have a motion? Good, Kat, sorry.
I make a motion to reappoint Terry Dickinson to the Park and Rec Committee for the term ending December 31st, 2030. Second. That's a long time.
Years. Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? You're good with this, Terry, obviously.
Hi, Jack.
If you would like. I'm always up for business. All right, call for the vote. Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Terry.
Aye.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to reappoint Stephanie Scotton to the Park and Rec Committee for the term ending December 31st, 2030.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or?
I actually do.
Sure.
Is there no chair? Or do you have to argue?
We haven't had our reorg meeting. It will be on the 20th.
You guys saw out the rest of the year with Claire as vice chair, right?
What's that?
Claire was just vice chair through the end of last year.
Yes.
Okay.
But every committee reorgs their first meeting of the year anyways.
I just wasn't sure if there's.
Yeah, we haven't met yet for sure.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thirty-nine is the Historical Commission. There are no changes. There are no terms up for reappointment this year. Any questions or comments, Joe? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Do I have a motion on the EAC? I make a motion to appoint the following members to the Environmental Advisory Committee, EAC, with the term ending 12/31/2026. 11 members total. Laura Hires, John Nielsen, Terry Dickinson, Amy Troop, Tanner Burns. Jeannie or Janet Berlin? Jeannie, I knew I could pronounce. Charles Reed, Paul Brenner, Roger Mustalish, Robert Deist as full members for 1 year, and Katja Dorada, alternate member for 1 year.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Why is this one different? Why do they only get 1-year terms?
This was done by resolution, it was established.
Just the way it was established,
Yes,
a little different than other boards where it's all staggered.
yes.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
That's awesome. A whole lot of people get something done.
So we have the municipal building committee.
I'd like to.
We got you.
Yeah.
So the first is the motion to reappoint the existing members. But second to that is there's a potential motion for electing new members. I don't know if we wanted the building committee to meet and interview the potential candidates and then make a recommendation to the board first before we make a motion on those.
I think that would be a good idea.
Okay, so we'll table that.
Great.
All right, then I make a motion to reappoint Wilson Lambert, Katja Dorado, John Iannata, Jerry Dickinson, and Chuck Argue to the Municipal Building Committee with the term ending 12/31/2026, 7 members maximum.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
Again, I think this is where some conflict of interest comes in because basically Kat is on that board and she said, yes, we want to do whatever process you just recommended. Her and Wilson are 40% of what would likely be a vote or recommendation to come back to themselves to make a decision. I don't think we've ever, at least since I've been coming, had this issue where, usually it's been, if there are more people who want to serve on this committee, we just will add spots. You're absolutely welcome. It's residents who are working together and then making, recommendations to the board.
Sure.
This one seems to be different. I'm not sure why, or if it can be explained why it's different, but if residents, I don't think there's been a time that I've seen where a resident said, yeah, I would like to be on that committee. And the board said, let's put the brakes on and let's go through some more rigmarole.
So 2 points. First point, this board is operating, or this committee is operating the same as all the other commissions outside of the zoning hearing board. And that this was resolution, it's 1-year terms. We did originally start with 5 and voted up to 6. And then that was the reason I brought up whether or not to appoint people tonight or expand it. And regardless, is usually the commissions or the committees interview the candidates and then make a recommendation. I understand your point about Pat and Wilson being on the board. It's legal and ethical. I understand people disagree with it.
It's legal. I'll give you that.
Okay. So that's not going to change in the near future, but I understand your point and why you're making it. So I think we're following the process that we have in previous years with all the committees, that they interview the candidates and make a recommendation. At the same time, like we've done with the EAC and we've done previously with the municipal building, we still have the option to expand the number if we like. Does that has to be by resolution and advertised, right, Scott?
We don't have to advertise it, just has to be done by resolution, the board would approve it.
Okay. Any other questions on the sheet?
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Item table with a table, item B.
Yes. Table the appointment and a request that the municipal building committee reach out to and interview the potential candidates. Just as a point of order, Deborah Stock emailed and removed herself as an applicant for the municipal building committee. Motion to table?
Second. Oh,
Yes, I made the motion.
yes.
Call for the vote.
Aye.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Joe McCormick as the Township Uniform Construction Code representative.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Joe.
Just as a point of order, the Township Board of Auditors shall hold an organizational meeting on Tuesday, January 6, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Township Building. The elected auditors are Eric Shane Cloyd, 2026 to 2029 for a 4-year unexpired term, Sharon Scott for a 2022 to 2027 full term, and James McAvoy for a 2026 to 2031 6-year term. Just as informational. Informational tax collector 4-year term is David Harkins for 2026 to 2029 4-year term.
Just information on that, the county hasn't received the paperwork back. So we don't know if he accepted the position, but we'll continue to check with the county on that.
Is the constable good?
Yes.
Informational constable 6-year term, Tammy Marie or Lisa, 2022 to 2027 for a 6-year term.
Paperwork come back now,
Scott,
done.
the constable came back.
That was in 22. She was elected in 22.
Okay.
This is still good.
Yes, that's a current term.
All right. I make a motion recognizing Fulton Bank, Liggett, and Meridian Bank as the township designated banks.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
You treat us good, Dave?
Yes.
Mhm.
Any questions or comments from the public?
My son texted me and I missed this and I apologize. If you don't want to answer, that's fine. The tax collector, position, I had emailed the treasurer about questioning that, like, is that just like, because we have a bunch of agencies that do that work. So what is that position? I don't understand.
Did you email me today?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
hi.
I did get back to you.
Okay, I did. I
Sorry.
didn't understand.
Sorry.
Okay. I mean,
Can you try it?
Yeah, that's another position. It's in the second class township code. It's similar to the elected auditor position. I mean, the township contract with Berkheimer, similar to having.
I'm over here, Scott, like, you don't look at anyone who asks you a question, like, I'm over here. So,
Yeah.
so it's like a name only, it's just like a placeholder kind of thing, or just so I
I think it's
understand?
required by law and it's.
Okay, I understand.
They don't have any official duties.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for getting that.
I think it's the same thing as the constable, like, have we
Okay.
ever used the constable?
I don't know. That'd be a question for the constable.
Next month's
Yeah.
Jeopardy question will be what a constable does.
They serve papers.
Yeah, okay, thanks. For
Sorry.
And
Yes.
what makes these banks the choice banks?
Do you want to answer that, Dave?
I guess the short answer, Fulton Bank, we use very little. It's just a local bank when we have cash
Because it's not a local bank.
Oh, sorry, I was looking back
Right,
here.
it's not a local bank, though.
Fulton Bank has a local office that's
A
close,
local office, okay.
close to us, so that we're not driving 20 miles to deposit.
Because I'm
$100
curious,
cash.
for most local bank of all, Citadel.
Right,
I mean, we have maybe less than $3,000 in that bank account, so I don't think it's
I think
too
it's
material.
an interesting selection of banks.
So the township actually uses, Meridian Bank is our main banker here. We actually switched. In the past, we're using Fulton Bank as our main banker. The reason we switched was, probably about 4 years ago, we realized we could save about $8,000, actually closer to $10,000 a year in fees. That was the primary reason. Our fees are virtually none.
Oh, is it a
with,
fee situation?
No fees with Meridian Bank. I mean, we did due diligence on this about 4 years ago. Yeah, we did extensive due diligence when we were looking to switch banks because we wanted to save money. That was the reason why we switched to Meridian. The fees were very low and the rates were very good. So we're making good interest on their interest rates, and then the fees are virtually non-existent that we're paying right now.
Just a question.
So, yep.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
I make a motion to approve the payment authorizations for the period of December 10th, 2025 through January 5th, 2026. In a total amount of $227,000 and $77.94.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, that number changed slightly. It went down. I should have told you this before. 224,077.94.
So I make a motion to approve the payment authorizations for the period of December 10th, 2025 through January 5th, 2026. In a total amount of $224,000 and $77.94.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
I do. Forgive me. It's because I need to kind of get familiar with this. Is there anything on there you would think like was unusual or unexpected?
Unusual, or I guess
Were there any fees that were?
not so much unexpected, I guess unusual. We had some maintenance issues on one of the police vehicles. We replaced an engine. That was just under $13,000. And we're buying a lot of road salt.
Okay.
I don't know if they're unexpected, but they're kind of unusual.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
A comment, Deb. Can you just speak up a little louder? I think they're already. It's not your fault. Usually my perspective. It's okay.
Going back there.
Any other questions or comments from the public?
Was this one of the older police vehicles that wasn't under, I know we get the extended warranty, but it was out of warranty?
It was out of work. Otherwise, we're gonna be paying for it.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote. Aye. Almost there. Informational bidding thresholds for 2026. Contractor purchases under $13,200 require no formal bidding price quotations. Contractor purchases between $13,200 and $24,500 require 3 written or telephonic price quotes. Contracts of purchase greater than $24,500 require formal bidding and public notice.
And these are set by the state.
Set by the state.
I make a motion to approve a waiver of the 2026 trash fee.
can we go back to your last one? I just have a question.
Sure.
On contracts and purchases greater than 24/5, you said requires formal bidding and public notice. How much time do you give for public notice?
Scott, what's the notice?
It's set by second class township code. I can't remember.
I'm sorry, it's set by.
It's set by second class township code. I don't recall offhand, but we follow second class township code.
How would I get that information?
You can just Google it online.
If
If you email me, I'll give you the information. I just don't recall offhand.
And does the public have a right to respond to your public notice and do you listen to us?
I'm not trying to be smart. What do you mean by respond?
Well, if you have a formal bid in and we, the public, don't agree with it, with what you guys are deciding you think is right, and the town, we decide that we don't think it's good, do you listen to us?
Yeah, there's public comment when the bid goes out.
So-
Okay.
We do put it in the minutes for the board meeting. And I will lightly say that opinions vary on whether or not we listen to you. I think we do. Other people disagree.
Okay.
Scott,
And they're getting something.
Could you put that on something maybe Mr. Crowley could answer when he's here next?
Which,
About the whole public process. I just wanted to clarify.
I mean, I could probably
I think
answer
I know an answer, but I'm not a lawyer, so.
when we put something out to bid, there's an opportunity for public comment. The board approves the actual, the board approves the actual advertisement of the bid. And when they approve the advertisement of the bid, there's an opportunity for public comment.
Yeah.
And then I think the last bid that was accepted, was Sawmill Road, the culvert replacement project.
Yeah.
So there's the example of when the low bids come in, the board approves the low bid, but the public has another opportunity to provide comment as well.
But the actual decision is made by the supervisors, whether or not to enter into any particular contract.
Correct. Yes.
Can I just ask if the public identifies themselves?
It's hard to hear you.
Can you just identify yourself? I don't know your name.
Carol Holloway.
Thank you.
If I'm not here, I watch them online when they're being recorded.
Oh, I just mean during the comment section
Okay.
for people to identify themselves.
Okay.
Thank you.
John Nielsen, and the advertising for the bids is still a daily local, is that correct?
We do advertise, yes.
In the daily local.
Yes.
Oh, Harrisburg fixed.
Any other questions or comments on the bidding thresholds? All right, I make a motion approving the waiver of the 2026 trash fee for 198 Glenrose Avenue, parcel UPI 47-7-79.
Second,
Any questions or comments from the board?
address is, I'm sorry. Good.
That address should be Glenrose Road.
Yep.
All right, I make a motion to amend the previous motion to say Glenrose Road.
Second,
Questions or comments from the board on that, the amendment?
We do this each year when people do not need the service and therefore can request a waiver. Is that fair?
Yes. Any questions or comments on the amendment from the public? Any questions or comments on the original motion from the board? Any questions or comments from the public on the original motion? Call for the vote.
Aye.
aye.
Abstain.
Make a motion approving a waiver of the 2026 trash fee for 42 Rokeby Road, UPI 47-7-166.1.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 All right. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion approving a waiver of the 2026 trash fee for 6 Park Avenue.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is there any old business? Is there any new business? All right, public participation. Is everyone familiar with our requests for rules and decorum? All right, so if anyone that wants to speak, please come up to this podium and state your name, please.
Shane. I live in East Fallowfield.
Oh.
I do wish the board would have held out for Deborah to be the vice chair, but that's your guys' prerogative. We were so close. I know that, the school district, said that the school wasn't available for purchase right now, but they'd be willing to talk to townships or anyone else once the new school is built. But, you know, Al decided to make a post and say, no, it is not for sale. I don't know why. I mean, we discussed that, and I'm not asking questions, so I'm gonna take my three, no.
Comments go
I'm
to the
not-
chair, not the
It's-
individual.
I'm sorry,
Your comments go to the chair, not.
I
the
wasn't
individual.
talking to you. I
You
was talking
mentioned my
about.
name,
I
so
did.
you called
I'm
me
allowed to
out,
mention
so
your
I'm
name.
gonna ask you to.
I'm
follow
allowed
the
to mention your
rules of
name.
court.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. All right, real quick. You're allowed to say what he wants to say. You can identify any board member if he so chooses.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Chair.
You're vice chair, you should have known that. Sorry, he's vice chair, you should have known that.
Just me. All right, real quick.
I did,
No,
I fixed it.
Just pause it. Yeah, sorry. I'm the only one that gets snarky or gets yelled at. Everyone else gets talked to nicely. That's my role. Just yell at me,
We'll try.
call me names,
We'll try.
curse at me, but only me. Thank you.
Let's see what else. So I was suing the township. I did, you know, cancel that lawsuit, but again, there was a supervisor whose name is Al Wright, who decided to make a post about, and again, it was a snarky, sarcastic, post with a video, that said it didn't have legal legs. Well, it did have legal legs enough for the judge to say it is a live case. I did go back and forth with, their counsel for a bit. But through that, we discovered that there is a $1.7 million plan for Newlandville Township, or sorry, Newlandville Village. So it kind of made it a moot point, even though it was still a stupid traffic calming. You know, it went from let's slow down the speed to, oh, we just need a visual cue. So we need a $150,000 visual cue that you're entering a new area. But at no point, even though years ago they discussed this $1.7 million, did they say, hey, this is part of a bigger plan, right? And that was since February of last year, that not once did they say, oh, this is just phase one until the very end after the lawsuit started. So the lawsuit did have legs. It was kind of a moot point after we discovered that it was phase one. It's just to let you know that they're going into this Newlandville Village area that they want to commercialize. So again, that was kind of a ridiculous post, but you know, it's freedom of speech. And then the fact that Kat and Wilson tried to get leadership positions on the board again is kind of laughable and ridiculous, but I do appreciate the other three supervisors stepping in and making sure that that didn't happen. So, time to spare. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Kelly Ashelman. I sent an email to the treasurer today requesting clarification on something, and I in no way expected a couple hour turnaround, so I want to thank you for your time. I was expecting 24 hours or so, so I know everyone's busy and I appreciate that. That was really great. 2828 and 2830 Strasburg Road continue to be eyesores. I did go online today and submit a formal request. I don't know what the process is, as far as turnaround time or acknowledgement or whatever for those requests, but it continues to be an eyesore, trash heap, just disgusting. So whatever scum landlord owns that needs to really be, looked at for that. I know we had a couple fires in our township, a couple people lost a lot of things. I didn't know, and part of my ignorance, if we don't have something already, like a community, something in the township office where we can, donate items for them, new items or something. I don't know, sometimes people are weird about, if they need something, asking for help, or individuals, like getting deliveries from individuals they may not know. I didn't know if there was something we could do at the township building or somewhere where people, community members can bring things if people, you know, were affected in our township that we could help. So just something maybe to,
It's something to consider.
Think about.
Space, we can accommodate that if someone wants to spearhead that.
No, but we could probably make it work.
and I would volunteer to help.
So to your
In any
point,
way.
I don't think we currently have anything like that, but
Okay,
we can accommodate that if that's something someone would like.
okay, and I can
Just
talk.
contact us.
Okay, and then lastly, I called today, looking for a particular job description. I don't know if I just wasn't finding it, but to self-serve, but I know job descriptions are not posted on the website, so when I asked the question, they didn't really know why they weren't posted, so just like a kind of, is that something typical of townships to post job descriptions, so we can look at like roles and responsibilities, or not really, just
I
looking
don't
for
think it typically
clarification?
is.
Okay,
You are always welcome to file a right to know request for the specific job description.
okay, it just seems like a lot of
It's,
needless work, like to put someone through like a process, like I hate to waste time and energy if like you could just self-serve, like you can go on the website and like click on, you know what I mean, but wasn't that, I don't wanna say that important, but
it's trackable, traceable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
okay, no problem, thanks.
Crazy lady from down the road. Y'all know me. I just, I'm gonna reach out to all of you up there. We had a phenomenal, Christmas light show over in Allen Lane. And I'm sure most all of you have driven by there. My grandkids adore it. It just ended Saturday night. Is there any way that we can reach out and give them a certificate of appreciation? They've done this year in and year out, and to the bane of the neighbors, I'm sure, but, it's a service. I mean, hey, where else do you go to see lights like that set to music and the radio station? And it's phenomenal. So I have the name of the person at home. I forgot to bring it with me tonight, but I really think it would be awesome if we could just thank them as a community for providing that for our families and the.
Like in the newsletter or something, maybe?
Hmm?
Like in the newsletter or something, maybe, like kind of,
Yeah,
or you think?
yeah, I don't know how they want to do it, but you know, I just think they should be
Yeah.
acknowledged for their.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
A lot of
it's
work.
really nice.
Yeah.
Pam's card. I have to tell you, the People's Hall put on a heck of a kickoff for the America 250. It was amazing. Reading of the Declaration of Independence, you would have loved it, Joe. It was moving, it was wonderful, finding out how that whole corner fit into the early ages of the civil rights movement with Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, had me moved. And we sang Christmas carols and had cookies. So it was fun for all. It was a great time. Made me East Ella feel proud, I have to tell you. It was really wonderful. Have a whole new appreciation for the township. But it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. A good time was had by all. Just want to let East Ellsville know that. Great time. It was wonderful.
And just echo on Pam's point, I was there too, and it was amazing.
It
And
was, wasn't it?
I had never been in there. It was a good excuse for me to actually see the resource and the improvements that have been done. But,
It was.
I know when I asked them, oh, who are you? And the people from out of town were coming because of the People's Hall's efforts. So that was very nice.
Good evening. Sorry I'm late.
Good evening.
Welcome technically the new board and the new board member. Looking forward to keeping you on your toes. And I mean that in a positive way, all of you. That said, that's done. I had mentioned previously about the 102 Perry Court property and how I had confirmed by the board, publicly stated that all variances had expired. There has been flagging and marking activity on that property. It is currently under contract. And if anybody's doing any work there, they're, as far as I can tell, under what permissions are they doing it under? Because if all variances that were given to the original owner have expired, what exactly is happening there? And there hasn't been any public notices, there hasn't been anything.
Have they broken ground or they just do a utility?
So far, everything's being just flagged off.
Okay, so,
No violations. We've investigated that.
right. So, but there's no current permit there? To your knowledge?
Nothing being done other than flagging. There's
Right. So,
nothing to permit.
Okay, I'm just keeping
No,
tabs
I
because our
believe-
community, our neighborhood is very
no, I understand.
nervous about it.
Didn't Mrs. Federoff email in about the same thing?
Yes, yes.
So it's been brought to our attention.
Okay. I'm just-
Obviously Scott had the answer. And yes, to my knowledge, they can flag it and do a utility call out.
Okay, I just, like I said, I'm not being fully aware of what they were marking off. I just wanted to make sure, publicly speaking, that.
They can be under contract and sell the parcel.
Right, but
They
if
can't
you had,
contract on it.
and I know this, obviously this board and the township has no input on the way it's being sold, but the selling, the selling agent and the buying agent are the same guy, and he has been made aware that the listing is worded in a way that isn't consistent with the township's opinion of the matter.
Okay.
So, like I said, a lot of us in the neighborhood are concerned that things are happening that shouldn't be happening, or somebody who's buying that property thinks they're gonna be able to do something that they currently cannot. So it's just a matter of continuing to keep attention and a spotlight on that property.
Thank you for making us aware. Someone else has made us aware, and everything today checks out.
Okay,
Is my understanding.
all right, well, you got a bunch of hawks on it, so I'm sure you'll hear, you'll hear repeatedly, so, but thank you for your time.
Thank you, Phil.
It'd be cool if I didn't have to limp all the way up there. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Tony.
Just throwing this out there. When the trash company doesn't get your trash, you have until 6 p.m. they have until 6 p.m. to get it, but the township's only up until 4 p.m., so you can't tell them. So no matter what, your trash will sit there all weekend, or you have to bring it in and then put it back out again. Our trash collection day falls on a weekend, well, Friday, or it gets moved to Saturday on a holiday. How do we start the process to possibly move our trash collection day so that if it is missed, they have much better chance of being able to get it the next day? Because I'm seeing a lot of people, their trash or recycling just isn't getting picked up. And they know the route. They've been doing this for years. And there are some houses they're just skipping. And some of them, I can't even fathom why they miss a whole road. So is there a process for us to push to, get it voted, put in the contract, whatever, possibly have a different day of the week? Because it doesn't even make sense to why the times don't line up. If they're, we can't complain to you guys if you leave by 4, but they have till 6, and we don't know if they did or didn't get it till after 6. It's just pointless. What's that process?
So, couple things there. First, always email trash@eastfallsfield.org so we can document it, correct, Scott?
Yes, absolutely.
1, 2, not that you should have to, you always have the option to call Blazinski direct, correct?
You can.
You can. Not that it'll get you anywhere, not that it'll be fruitful, but that is also an option. As for the day of the week, is this just what we've been assigned by Blazinski, or this is what we determined, or?
It's not something we can change in this contract. It's something we can look at the next contract.
Okay.
So we know that this year of 2026.
Our contract expires into this year, into next year.
End of this year, we have 2 option terms.
Okay. And real quick, I know when we had public previously, who's the previous hauler?
Waste management.
Waste management. We knew when we had waste management contract that was a below market value contract at the time.
Yes.
Is Blazinski still in line, or are they undervalued or overvalued currently? Do you know?
Much cheaper than the other haulers.
Okay. So
we're saving a lot of money.
If we were to accept the option years for the next 2 years, they would be for the same days conceivably, or we could negotiate.
I'd have to look at the contract closer.
Okay.
On that one.
So Connie, nothing for the year of 2026. We can look in to see what can be done for 2027.
Okay.
Does that help or answer your question?
It helps. I mean, there's some people that really want to push for a different day of the week. If nothing else, giving them a chance to fix their mistake.
Understood.
Connie, was this when we had that ice storm that weekend, the Friday, Saturday, the ice storm?
No.
It's all.
No, it's random. It's all
Have we had an increase in misses by Blazinski from?
My understanding is this weekend was tough for them. Their trucks got filled up. That's what happened.
So
They were just
They were
filled
behind.
over capacity this weekend.
Okay, real quick, anything else, Connie?
No, I was just checking in to
Okay,
maybe get the ball rolling.
understood. Yes, Shane.
Two things. One, is there any other process we could set up? Because if we call the township, the township's gonna call Blazinski if you get picked up the same day. I don't know if there's a way to get around that, if it's after 4 PM or it's a Saturday or what, but if there's some process, I mean, if they're listening to the township, why wouldn't they listen to the resident whose trash they missed? Also, did they run out of capacity because they're picking up bulk every week? And I thought they would
I don't
go,
have that much information right now.
I thought they would go and dump and then come do the rest. I mean, I thought that's how it works, like.
I don't know. We can ask. I know I was at the meeting when Blazinski was presenting for this contract. And everyone, or most people were aware they had a bad, when they got bought out by the national conglomerate. Blazinski at that time was overworking their drivers. So I know they brought them back into compliance to be at a regular workday or a standard shift. And I know that at that point, they had reduced their service area. So yeah, there's only so many trips to the dump, so if they get filled up faster, I don't know if they can have extra vehicles to apply and or extra drivers.
Or multiple days of pickup, right?
Right. They're supposed to make it right, correct? If they miss,
Supposed to come back in a certain number of hours.
so.
Yeah, I would just echo what Connie said, if we could possibly change it to some day during the week, because the landfill Lancaster closes at 12 on Saturday. So that might be part of it.
So that was Connie's trash discussion. Any other public comment? Well, no, I just want to make sure we give equal time to we're talking about the same subject. Any other public participation at this point? All right. I make a motion to adjourn the January 5th, 2026 reorganization meeting at 7:29 PM. Call for the vote.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
For your, you should buy